Well, hello there YouTubers, Jordan Blakey the Liver Flush Man here today with another amazing video. This video is going to be on thyroid health. This video is going to be about how to detoxify fluoride from your body and what you get from tap water, public tap water, and the tap water from your house. Fluoride has been used to help treat cavities, to dental health, and for the water supply, but in reality this fluoride is completely a waste and we should not be using it. And the thing is that even most water filtration systems do not clean out the fluoride as well as the bromide or the chlorine in the water. Even letting your tap water sit for 24 hours is not going to evaporate the fluoride. As well, distilling the water is not going to get rid of the fluoride. Fluoride is a heavy metal. It's a metal in there, and it actually causes thyroid problems is the #1, and pineal gland problems, which also then corresponds to the pituitary gland not being able to get proper amounts of serotonin, melatonin, and tryptophan. Okay, so the thing is that this fluoride in the water is mostly, it really affects the endocrine system, which is the glands of the body, especially, like I say, the thyroid gland and the pineal gland. What happens is the thyroid and pineal gland concentrate that fluoride in those areas, and they cause many different problems in those glands there. Alright, so the pineal gland is connected to the 6th chakra, which is the 3rd eye chakra, and the pituitary gland, which is very closely connected to the health of the pineal gland, is the 7th chakra manifestation of the 7th chakra, the pituitary gland. The pineal gland is the physical manifestation of the 6th chakra, the 3rd eye chakra. So when we have an overabundant amount of fluoride in our bodies, in our bloodstream, in our thyroid and pineal gland, then we're not able to produce that serotonin, melatonin, and tryptophan in order to activate our higher chakras and activate our higher mind and brain function. Alright, so this video here is going to be on how to get rid of that fluoride that has been building up for all of us on this planet that have been drinking tap water that's been treated with fluoride and bromide and chlorine. Alright, so what you can do here, one of the big secrets that I've learned here, or awareness, or whatever you want to call it, is that iodine from natural sources is the way to pull and eliminate, detoxify these harmful fluoride molecules. Okay, so I'll tell you some sources here. This is actually the highest source on the planet that I know of, that I'm aware of right now, is the kelp, the bull kelp that grows in the oceans. Definitely the Pacific Ocean where I live. I just harvested this fresh kelp here, these fresh kelp sticks, which contain the highest concentration of natural iodine. Okay, I'm going to tell you some other foods that contain iodine. Now, iodine, like I said, is able to pull out the fluoride in the thyroid and pineal gland, and is able to maintain and support the health of your thyroid. Alright, your thyroid is located around the throat area, okay, which is connected to your 5th chakra, the throat chakra, alright, for communication. And so this is the process here. First, you go to the ocean. Alright, in order to make this yourself, you actually have to live near an ocean that has seaweed, because all seaweeds contain iodine. It's just that the bull kelp here contains the highest concentration of iodine than any other sea vegetable that I know of from my research. Now, what I did is I went and got about 20 bull kelps here, and this is the top of the bull kelp here. This is the very end here, and those are the leaves of the bull kelp there. Alright, this is the top of the bull kelp. So what that would look like is this was on one of the ends here like that, and I cut the end off, and then I have it in the bath. So then you can take a bath as well. You can leave the seaweed leaves in there if you want, or take them out, add some hot water, so you're not just because it should, when you do this, you want the water just to be cold to lukewarm. You don't want to cook it and stuff as you're doing this. So you put them all in the bathtub, you clean them, you get all the sand out, you get all that stuff out, and then you bring it over here. You get a nice wood board here, non-toxic, and then so you cut these pieces, and then I'll show you the process here. But before we do this process, I'm going to show you what I've done already with these. Alright, and kelp also and all seaweeds also are heavy metal detoxes, including pulling out heavy metals such as lead and mercury, which can be deposited in the body by eating especially bottom fish feeders, like from the ocean. The bottom fish feeders, they're getting a lot of heavy metals in there, and you're eating that. So and then here are the dried leaves of the kelp, which is the part at the top. This is the actual bull kelp stalk here. Alright, and what I've done here is I've actually started drying some up here, as you can see, all up here. These are all the bull kelp sticks there that are going to dry, and this is not using much heat at all. This is just room temperature, so it's a very high level of drying the seaweeds here, not using the heat. And as you can see, this one here, you see that white at the bottom there? That's actual natural sea salt that comes out as it dries. Now, because these ones here, as well as this one up there, you can see some white up here on this one, as well as this one over here. Alright, you might not be able to see it, but anyways, the ones that have already been here for about 2 or 3 days, look at all the salt forming. So in another 2 or 3 days, all these will have amazing natural sea salts coming out, which provides all the trace minerals, all 72 known trace minerals. It's going to mineralize your body, as well as electrolyze your body with electrolytes, and hydrate your cells, which is important for the sustaining of life. Okay, so the bull kelp is the highest concentration of iodine, the natural heavy metal detox, including pulling fluoride, which you're getting from your tap water. Now I'll tell you some other sea vegetables that contain iodine as well here. Alright, so kelp is number one. 1 tablespoon of kelp has approximately 2,000 milligrams of iodine. Now, kombu, another sea vegetable, another seaweed, for 1 tablespoon has about 1,200 milligrams, so almost half. Then hiziki, another sea vegetable, which, like this video shows you how to make your own, dry your own seaweed. But if you don't live near an ocean, then you can buy the dried seaweeds in a health food store. The hiziki, if you look at that in a health food store, per 1 tablespoon has roughly 780 milligrams of iodine, natural iodine. Then arame, or arame, whatever, however you want to say it, A-R-I-M-E, that sea vegetable, that seaweed contains approximately 730 milligrams of iodine. And then we got wakame, or wakame. 1 tablespoon has roughly 100 milligrams of iodine. So kelp is the highest, then kombu, then hiziki, and arame and wakame have the least amount. Alright, natural sources in fruit. Cranberries is one of the highest sources in fruit. For 4 ounces of cranberries, fresh raw cranberries, has 400 milligrams of iodine. And then some other amazing ones are all the natural sea salts, including Himalayan crystal sea salts, Celtic sea salt, Atlantic sea salt, and any other, like Dead Sea salt, any other natural sea salt. These kind of sea salts have been deposited on the earth over millions of years ago, 2 million years ago or so, and these are full of all the trace minerals and hydrate your body, electrolyze your body. So also they contain about roughly per gram 500 milligrams of iodine, natural iodine. Now you do not want to be relying on iodine from white refined table salt. That salt is stripped of all its health properties and is chemically processed as well with heat and chemicals. So that iodine is not going to do anything for your thyroid or your pineal gland or the activation of your pituitary gland and the higher functions of the brain. So there you go. The kelp is the highest source that I know of natural iodine, with 2,000 milligrams of iodine per 1 tablespoon. All right. So this is the high quality, not dried with heat. And then we go over here into my room over here, and I actually made this little guy here. Let me put the light on here so you can see. This is a bunch more dried kelp here. Look at this. Well, I had 20 kelp, and I just hang them from the top there, and any water that was dripping is dripping onto these crystals here, which I use to make structured love water as well, these amazing crystals. And so there you go. There's a whole bunch more kelp right there. Kelp strands like that are gonna provide me with minerals, trace minerals, iodine, and all kinds of. It's gonna detox heavy metals. So you know, if you do live near an ocean, I highly recommend getting seaweed and drying it. There are many hundreds of different kinds of seaweeds in the ocean. They all are edible, you know, and they all provide trace minerals and main things. So let's get this down here. I'll show you how to do this if you do live near an ocean, or you're just curious how to do this. Because even if you say go visit a friend that lives near an ocean, you can always do this, because you only need a couple tools. You need 1 knife and 1 grater, and that's it. Seriously, that's how easy this is. You go to the ocean, you harvest the kelp. You can get it from the beach. Try to get the freshest stuff you can. And if you're really into it, you jump right into the ocean and go and get the fresh kelp that's actually still attached to the bottom of the ocean, and get the highest source of living kelp. Then so you take your grater. Like I said, only 2 tools. You bring that home. You put them all inside your bathtub with cold or lukewarm water, and you wash them up. Then you take them out. You got your board or whatever. Here we go. Look at this. How easy this is. What you do? You just grate off the top there, like that, the skin right there, because you know, as you know and you've heard of that radioactive waste that was dumped into the ocean from the spills and stuff, as well as oil. All that does get diluted in the ocean, and there's actually, you know, not that huge of a concentration because the ocean is so big. And the thing is, the neat thing about kelp and all seaweeds is that seaweeds are the natural cleaners of the ocean. What they do is they transform that radioactive waste and that oil spill and toxins from gas, from boats and sewers and all this stuff. They take in all that and they transform it into clean, usable energy that's healthy with minerals, and that's nature's way of cleaning itself, right? So these are the natural cleaners. So not only that, they're so amazing that they transform that radioactive waste into usable energy that is still edible. It does not take on the properties of the radioactive waste. Now, if this was like directly in concentrated radioactive waste, the kelp would probably die. But because it's just diluted, you know, through the huge amount of ocean, it can manage that and it can clean it. And if there is a little bit of you know, radioactive waste in there, just small trace amounts, then in a lot of ways that's actually good too, because that's like homeopathy. That could also, you know, potentially, you know, if say a disaster happened and there was a radioactive world and environment like Hiroshima or something all over again, then you know, the ones that had this in their bodies would probably actually be able to survive it as well, because it's actually, you know, preparing the body by giving it trace amounts, just small amounts, which the body can handle and also transform and transmute. Because radioactive, like everything, some things, even though they're bad in a way, in small doses, in small concentrations, it can actually be beneficial and have beneficial healing properties for the body. So so the reason why we actually also, you know, get the skin off here is because if anywhere is going to start to degenerate and mold, fungi, yeast, all that kind of stuff, any kind of breakdown at the microbe level will happen on the skin first. As well, the skin is much like if you buy non-organic food, say an apple. You buy a non-organic apple and there's all kinds of pesticides and spray on the skin. Well, at least if you take a grater and you grate off the actual physical chemicals and you know, that was sprayed onto it, then, you know, you're gonna be getting a much better source of the apple, where actually, you know, all these living things like this kelp or fruits and vegetables, the water inside them is structured, and the cells of the organism of the fruit and vegetable actually metabolize, you know, those chemicals and stuff and refine them into more structured, more healthy levels. Alright, so it gets rid of a lot of that stuff inside the plant and stuff. Alright, so we get rid of that little you know, and all this here, all this extra, you can throw this in your bath. You can save it in a bucket, and when you have a bath, just throw a little bit in, because this is also, your body absorbs the iodine through the skin, as well as all the minerals and trace minerals. Very healthy for your skin. As well, all this can be used for your garden and your composting. This is amazing, amazing stuff for composting and all that. So it's all usable. And see what we did there? Look at that. We've actually just taken it all off, and look at that. It's all clean. There's no bacteria or anything, because, you know, inside, like I say, this is highly structured water, and it's got the natural sea salts and all the minerals together. Alright, so you do that like that. Then the next thing you do here is you take your knife like this, you put that on the board, and you just slice directly down the center like this. Right down the center, all the way through to the other end. Being also careful and go slow enough that you really do just cut right down the center. That way you get nice, equal, nice looking product at the end. Alright, so go right down the middle one time like that. There you go, you got the side split. Then you go right down the middle one more time of each of those. Right down the middle like this. It's actually really fun to do too, and you can be blessing your kelp and thinking of all the friends and people, family that you can feed and give presents to, and all the minerals it's going to provide your body with, and electrolytes, as well as to heal up that thyroid on the planetary level. You know, starts with healing yours and then helping others. All right, so there, that's 4 right there, and see, those are still a little bit thick in a way. They're a little bit thick. I mean, you can do that, and that's fine. But if you do them a little bit thinner, you know, not too thin, just a nice amount, it makes a nice, a stick when it dries out. And then that way, see, if it's too thick, it takes longer to dry as well. But this is about perfect, where you cut it once. Then each half once, that's 3 cuts, and then one more for each of them. So that will be one more on each here. That's another one here. One more cut here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 total cuts per per kelp here. Well, there's that one. And I mean, if you want to, you could even go thinner than that. If you take your time, really take your time and go down the middle, then you know you can do an additional cut in between. And I may do that in the future, but for now, I just want to get this done here so you can see it and it doesn't take too long to watch. But as you can see, it really doesn't even take that long. And I use my hand like this to guide it. That way you're not doing it way back here like this, because then it can move. This helps to hold it all together so you can go right down the middle. There we go. We go right down the middle there. And the last one here. And you see the green pigment in the kelp also has some chlorophyll content. And chlorophyll is also another heavy metal detox. Alright? I'll tell you some other foods that detox heavy metals, and including lead and mercury. But I said you get from eating bottom fish feeders of the ocean, as well as amalgam fillings that you get, the you know, the silver colored fillings that have some level of mercury and lead inside them, which are causing brain damage and brain dysfunction. All right. So there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strands. 8 strands like that. Then you go to hang them up. Even here, like, but actually you want to wash them first as well. You wash them in some clean water as well one last time. And even if you have like a towel rack like this, you can totally just hang them across the towel rack, leave a little bit of space in between each one, and you know, within a week they'll be completely dry, basically at room temperature. So that's that there. And here, the last little thing here on the other heavy metal brain detox foods. All right, so chlorophyll is one of them, and sources of chlorophyll is the spirulina, which is the blue-green algae, which provides almost every vitamin and every mineral as well. But that's going to go in the body, and it's going to pull out the toxic heavy metals from the body. Chlorophyll is made from the photosynthesis of sunlight in plants. The green pigment in all leaves of raw foods, lettuces and things like that, spinach is a high source. All the green pigments, the darker the green color of the leaf of the vegetable, the more chlorophyll it contains. So really dark leafy greens like spinach and kale have huge amounts of chlorophyll. Okay, and then that's a natural occurring chlorophyll. And so then there's also chlorella, which is very much like spirulina. It's another blue-green, it's another algae, a green algae. Then we also got, let me think here, we got chlorella, spirulina, we got phytoplankton that grows in the ocean, you know, that feeds the whales, and they live off the phytoplankton. Yeah, so dark leafy greens, chlorella, spirulina, and also you can buy like chlorophyll by itself, concentrated green chlorophyll, and you can add that to your waters. That's going to pull up toxins as well. Look, the seaweed's got the green, it's got chlorophyll. And also another one is the clay, like bentonite clay and certain internal edible clays. They also go in the body and pull out those heavy metals, as well as a really powerful one is activated black charcoal powder, and you can get that. That's going to go out and pull out that stuff, as well as pectin, which comes from fruits and stuff like that. The pectin also goes out. Alright, so there you have it. There's a bunch of information on how to clean up the fluoride in your body, in the thyroid and pineal gland and other endocrine system glands, through the use of kelp, the highest source of naturally occurring iodine in the planet. And then as well, you know, include those natural sea salts in your diet, which contain about a quarter as much natural occurring iodine as the kelp. Alright, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. I'm Jordan Blakey, the Liver Flush Man. We will see you next time.